my God, you guys, I just wanted to jump on here real quick because apparently Sydney Sweeney wore a pair of jeans and is a Nazi now. Yes, that is now how the left wing is characterizing any ad that doesn't quite gel with them or is perhaps a little bit MAGA. This was wild, the American Eagles ad. I'm sure you've seen it all over the internet. Now, I'm not exactly a huge fan of Sydney Sweeney. I do actually think that what people are saying that she's kind of morphed into her character on Euphoria, Cassie, is kind of true. But I don't think this latest move by her is as radical and crazy as people are saying. I mean, the public outrage does not fit the crime, okay? Let's have a look. The Independent has said a retailer recently announced a campaign with American Eagle. It is a simple ad. Let's take a look at it.
And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Okay, so pretty harmless ad. I mean, I've seen a couple of variations of it. I'll put it up on the screen now, but it's not exactly anything crazy. American Eagle's stock was obviously not great. The company was failing, and this was at trying to inject something back into the brand. They paid Sydney Sweeney quite a lot of money to try and get the brand back off its feet. It has definitely worked in terms of getting people to talk about American Eagle. Now it's on everyone's mind. I feel like no one thought about that brand for ages. But at what cost? Because there have been some insane think pieces out of this ad. So people are calling it Nazi propaganda. The woke brigade has really taken this to another level. They basically said, so the Daily Beast said, Nazi propaganda disguised as a jeans ad. Did we just watch the same thing? Because I don't see the Nazi propaganda. I mean, I get the genes, genetics. Oh, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. It's like a play on, you know how the Brooke Shields, it's sort of like a similar vibe to the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad, but it's not anything kind of crazy. I do not see the Nazi propaganda. Now, I do see what the left is trying to do. They're trying to say, oh, genetics, she's blonde with blue eyes, big breasts, the prime woman is. Look, it's America. This is almost like, oh, shock horror. A American brand does a ad with a blonde, buxom woman, and everyone's flipping out about it. There are ties to MAGA. Sydney Sweeney absolutely has ties to MAGA. I think this is fueling the outrage. I feel like if a more traditionally lefty actress would have done it, then maybe there wouldn't be that level of vitriol and outrage from the left. The Atlantic has said, this feels eugenics-coded, a dog whistle for white fertility. What does that even mean? I don't see anywhere in that ad that is saying white people are supreme. I really think that the brand was just implying that she's a gorgeous woman and that she's got good genes. I don't think there was some sort of eugenics undertone that American Eagle was trying to push here. Euronews has said imbued with dangerous messaging about purity and whiteness. So you heard that right. A marketing pun has basically been turned into this sinister manifesto for the left. They genuinely cannot handle it. I'm struggling to keep a straight face here. I am not the biggest fan of Sydney Sweeney. I don't love how she's obsessed with showing her breasts and it's her entire character trait and that's all she wants to be, known for. But I think we've gone too far here. I really do, because this isn't about genes. This isn't about genetics for the left. This is about control and not liking that an American ad is not a DEI hire, Bud Light thing where we get a trans person and we show that we're all inclusive. This isn't like the Jaguar ad they had a couple of months ago where they transformed the Jaguar car into a pink tampon woke-mobile. This is really different and feel like it's a reaction to them going back to traditional ads, traditional storytelling. I really think what our culture does is read way too much into things. I do not think there is some white supremacy angle here. Let's take a look at another ad.
To offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
He doesn't say, oh, you need to have blonde hair and blue eyes to have good genetics. She's not saying that. I just don't really understand where this commentary is coming from. They are really grasping at straws to find something wrong with an ad that isn't explicitly a vomit of liberalism. Like a couple example here of things that have been canceled. Apparently the Great Jeans pun is cancelled, but we can have drag queens at children's events. No problem at all. It just shows this sort of double standard that's happening in society at the moment that I'm really uncomfortable with. Sydney Sweeney in jeans, not okay in 2025, but apparently Lizzo smashing the patriarchy on stage and maybe smashing the stage as well. Apparently that's fine. Traditional femininity is not championed in the mainstream, but then apparently masculine femininity, men pretending to be women, that's absolutely championed. So it's interesting, this intersection of double standards that's coming out. I think the liberal left does need to take a long, hard look at themselves and say, maybe we need to reassess our model because we're tearing down women who are just trying to get their back. I feel like Sydney Sweeney is probably really regretting her choices a little. I think that it will blow over, and I also think that it's upset a very small amount of people, not enough people, like a small but vocal amount of people, not enough to actually influence who's going to her movies, who's doing what. I feel like the American Eagle brand is more to blame if they didn't foresee that this backlash would come, even though I still think it's ridiculous. But let's have a look. Sydney Sweeney quoted to The Hollywood Reporter, "I have to work non-stop just to afford my life. I get no breaks. I have no safety net." She said, as a result of that, she's landed a string of deals. She did American Eagle, Armani, Laneige, Ford Mustang. She had that very public relationship with Glenn Powell when they were filming that movie in Australia. And then she came out and said, it was all for the press. I just do what I need to do to get my bag. She's very public about the fact that she feels her future is quite short-lived and she needs to profit while she can. So maybe this was quite a hasty decision. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. And unfortunately for women in Hollywood, they do have a shelf life. So this woman's trying to get every single brand deal that she can while she can. I do think she's kind of diluted herself a little bit. Part of the backlash is because people are quite frankly overseeing her. I saw this TikTok where someone went into a Sephora and she was on about 50% of the billboards in there. But hey, if they're going to give her the money to promo, when you start taking brand deal after brand deal, and she was even an ambassador for some company called Hey Dude that no one's ever heard of. She really isn't that picky. Maybe that might come back to bite her, or almost already has. The public is grasping at straws here, and it's part of a bigger reaction. She's not a Nepo baby. She doesn't have a trust fund, so she's having to pick up these brand deals to get somewhere. Yeah, the left's obsession with Nazism, eugenics, trying to tie every single thing to that is actually a massive insult to what actually happened in history. And I think we're kind of reducing it when we start to compare American Eagle ads to the Holocaust, which is effectively what the left is doing. So yeah, if you think that Sydney Sweeney in denim is fascism, you're probably the problem. This whole controversy is absolutely bonkers, and I just encourage people to not get caught up in this stuff. Please watch the ad, make your own assessment, but really don't listen to these left-wing think pieces because I have no idea what they're on about. Catch you in the next one. Bye.